Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark,
And I'm Rob.
and today I'm going to make the argument that the chances of the U.S. women's basketball teams losing is greater than you think.
Mhm.
And hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so and hit that notification bell. We're real close to 3,000 and we need your help. I know people all just say, well, they're just going to win the gold medal. And that's probably true, Rob. There's a really good chance the U.S. women are going to win the gold medal because they have so much depth and are so much better than everybody else. But every year it becomes closer between international basketball and U.S. basketball. Now, in men, it's closer than it is in women's. So, yes, the chances of women losing are not as great. But I'll make a couple arguments as to why they could lose. Number one, their point guard can barely walk or run. Chelsea Gray playing poorly.
Right.
And their other starting guard, who shouldn't even be on the team, their other starting guard, who shouldn't even be on the team, Donna Taurasi, is playing poorly too. I don't know if they're going to start for the elimination games starting tomorrow on Wednesday, but they shouldn't. Either way, they have a lot of depth, so the chances aren't that great. But I would argue that's at least one reason. Another reason is, Rob, it becomes closer every year. So that's one I just mentioned. That's two. But I'll give you another one, Rob. We're not sure what the chances are of a team to upset the U.S. if they play a series of games. Like, for instance, in the NBA, we know a team that's way better than the other team, they either beat them 4-0 or 4-1 every time.
Right.
So if it was 4-1 and that's what would happen every time, the chances of losing are 20%. If they beat them 4-0, 5-0, 10-0, whatever, then it's close to 0%.
Right.
Vice versa. They never play 10-game series, so we never find out what the real chances are.
Right.
So, but I have a feeling if they play some of these teams, they could lose and they played 10 games.
Yeah, I say even like 5 games.
Yeah, it could be. So if they could lose if they played 5 games, that could be as high as 20%. But even if it's 10 games and they would lose 1 game, that's still 90%. Now, against Japan, they would probably beat them 20 times out of 20 or whatever. Yeah. But against some of these other teams, no, they were only up by 7 against Belgium going into fourth quarter. You're not going to tell me they could beat them 1 game out of 10 when they can keep it that close? I think so.
Well, Mark, that's why I think this upcoming game, I even got my colors on. Got my Nigerian colors on here.
You should have them tomorrow. That's when they're playing. But okay, go ahead, Rob. Yeah, so Rob scouted them because he watched the Nigerian game against Canada, right? And you were impressed.
And I really like I said, I really like the way they play. They play really. They have good coaching. They play team ball and they play defense, and they do motion offense, cutting and passing, and they do have a couple of players that can, match up well with. 2 leading scorers for the U.S. So
Brianna Stewart and Asia Wilson.
Yeah, they have players that they're not the equal as far as of course, talent-wise, but they can hold their own, which is all they need to do.
All right.
Their guard plays, I have to say, their guard play is much better than the U.S. guard play.
Well, at least the starting U.S. guards, but that's not going to be the same when that comes around in the elimination game. Jackie Young and Sabrina are going to play more. Oh, yeah. Rob, so you think the chances are like 1 out of 10?
I say so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So let's say that's right. Let's say it's 90, and that's got to be within the ballpark, 90%. And I'll even take 90% for the next round, which we're not sure who that's going to be. Australia, Serbia, we're not sure. And then after that, they're probably going to play Spain or France, and that's probably less than 10%. So even if you're wrong about Nigeria, let's say it's 95, 1 out of 20. It's still 90% each round.
So what you're saying,
the chance of losing isn't 10%. It's actually 28% because it's 90%. Let me finish what my sentence.
I'm sorry.
What are you saying?
So I was going to say, so what you're saying, the percentage goes up each round as they play. The percentage of them losing will go up.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you put the 3 rounds together, the chances go up because it's not 100% each time. It's 0.9 times 0.9 times 0.9, which is 72%. Okay. So given that they have to win 3 in a row and not 1 game, their chance of losing isn't 10%. It's actually 28%. If we're in the ballpark about 10% each team, maybe it's 5% for Nigeria, maybe it's 15% for France or Spain. But either way, I think we're in the ballpark there. So the chance of losing isn't really as close to 100% as people think. It may be closer to 28%. Now, they haven't lost since 92, and they haven't lost for 58 straight games. But each year, the international teams are closer. And again, we're not playing a series here. We're playing a single elimination game. So,
right. What they say on any given Sunday, that goes along with basketball too. You never know.
right.
If the shooting is off, and if the Nigeria teams, like I said, I like their defense is really good. I really like the way they move their feet, they help, and they block shots, and they can run the ball. They get the ball up the court pretty quickly too. So.
Well, that's the problem with beating the U.S. team is they play really good defense and they got a lot of scoring too, and they have rebound. They have a lot of depth. But I hope you're right, Rob, because I'd like to see an upset. And so, but I'll give you. We talked about this in other videos that in an international game, the chance of an upset is greater than it is in, say, the NBA playoffs. Number one, they play one game instead of a best of 7, so there's more luck involved. Number two, it's a shorter game, so there's more luck involved because you have fewer chances in case you're behind. It's a 40-minute game instead of a 48-minute game. And number three, the three-point shot is a little bit closer, so you're more likely to get three-point shots. So if the other team gets hot, which is easier to get hot because it's closer, and they hit a lot of threes, you could get upset. So there's 3 reasons why you could lose in international basketball in an Olympic tournament or the World Championships, because they're always single elimination. So those chances make it greater too. The chances of a loss are greater than an NBA game or an NBA playoff series.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. I mean, the men have the same problem. They almost lost to South Sudan, 101 to 100 or whatever. They could lose. So we'll see. But at least they pick the right players for the most part. So I think the chances are greater than people think they are. And again, I'm not predicting them to lose because that's still more than 50%, even at 70%.
I predict a good game. I think it's going to be a close game. If not, it's going to be a good game. I think it's not going to be a blowout game.
Right. And again, I'm very American when it comes to rooting in the sports and the Olympics. I always root for the American player, American team. 3 of the players here helped keep Caitlin off the team: Diana Taurasi, Brianna Stewart, and Asia Wilson. And we all know that. I'm not going to get into the reasons why I went over it before. So that's one reason I'm rooting against them. But the other reason is because the Olympic Committee and Cheryl Reed, the coach, who also kept Caitlin Clark off the team, they need to be fired. And the only way to do that, or the only way to ensure that, I should say, is that they lose. And that's the reason I'm rooting against them. If they get the silver, bronze, fine. But they can't win the gold. Otherwise, they'll say, see, we chose the best team, which they did, right. But that's what they'll claim. So that's why I'm rooting against them. And you'll have to excuse me for this one time.
Your reasoning is valid. I don't like injustice. I mean, like I said, I like to see things even, but this is a total injustice towards the players. I mean, you have players on there that shouldn't be on there, and so now you're saying, okay, well, they have to wait their turn. Why do they have to wait their turn? Someone's on the team only because she wants to get that 6th gold medal. So, I mean, big whoop. Why not have someone in there and develop your program? So, like you, Mark, the injustice really turns me off, which I never have ever rooted against the U.S. team like you, but makes me like, okay, I hope you guys don't win the gold.
And if they don't win the gold, all the Arike and Caitlin Clark fans will be smiling. And they should. And guess what? They got a new committee and a new coach. Maybe Arike will make the team next 4 years from now. We know Caitlin Clark, they can't keep her off the team 4 years from now because she'll be the best player in the league, in my opinion.
Right.
But Arike is still going to be in the top 10. There's no reason. She's still young. And I hope she gets back on the Olympic team, even though she withdrew her name last time. So it's for these 2 players, Rob. That's why I'm rooting against the U.S. team. And any other player that got kept off the team that shouldn't have been on the team.
Right.
So, anyways, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So that's our thought for today. That's our take for today. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Hit that notification bell. We're real close to 3,000. We need your help. Real close. And if you like this video, hit the like button. And I'm going to go live today, 2 to 5, but I may go live at noon to cover the women's soccer game against East Germany. It's the quarterfinals. It's single elimination, so they have to win this. Mm-hmm. And we're doing that every day until Saturday, August 10th. And we start up our live shows again on Monday night, 6 to 8 Eastern time. And we do that every Monday except for major holidays. And if you want to donate to this channel, you can. It's super chats or super thanks down below. And also there's a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.